I am back with Kate Hershberger, who just read a scene from Blackpoint, her historical American West novel. And I have a lot of different directions that I want to go, but I want to start with the scene you read
Mhm.
is very interesting for a couple of reasons. The first being that it's kind of a story within a story.
Right.
So, this myth that you're presenting us, is it a
Mhm.
real Blackfoot myth? And how did you think about approaching the Blackfoot culture for your work?
It is a real Blackfoot myth. I've always loved the way indigenous people have told stories and their myths and mythology and whatnot. It's always really fascinated me, even as a kid. And when I realized Joe was going to be part or at least half Blackfoot, I definitely wanted to bring something of his culture into that. And Cassie's upbringing is very toxic and filled with a lot of fear and whatnot. So I wanted her to be able to see a different approach to how things work in the world. And then she was able to see something that maybe it's not necessarily scary, it's just different. And like I said, at the end, she kind of comes to, I like your story a lot better than what I always heard. So I wanted the way to bring some, like I said, in of Joe's culture, so to speak, into the novel, and actually it be something correct too, especially using, well, not using, but him being Blackfoot. I wanted to make sure it was correct and that it paid proper respect to those people as well.
So, were you already familiar with this myth and the Blackfoot culture, or did you start doing the research once you figured out that this character, Joe, was going to be part Blackfoot?
Well, I knew Joe was going to be half indigenous in one way or the other, and I don't know what made me choose Montana for whatever reason. I just popped in my head, so I picked that one. But I know Blackfoot are part of that region, so that's why I picked that culture. I did a lot of, I mean, just online research looking up the Blackfoot tribe. I looked up specifically Blackfoot myths or
Hmm.
stories. And then that one with the thunder came up. And I really just thought, oh, that'd be a really cool way to kind of bring these two characters together and closer. So that's kind of where that came from. Kind of brought it all
Yeah.
together on its own through the research, which I'm actually really bad at research normally. But this one was really interesting to do, especially with anything indigenous. I wanted to make sure I got it right and was respectful of that tribe and culture and make sure everything was okay.
Yeah. Yeah, I mean, I think that's one of the things that historical romance often does for us authors and writers is that like doing the research kind of opens up the creative process sometimes.
Right.